Tip off.
Come on, won't you say it loud? Ayo, we gon' turn this out. Tom Clark's main event. Dropkick now and Powerbomb. Ayo, bro, let's bring this on. Hey, hey, why this up? Oh, Captain, my captain, show the stuff. Power slammer, suplex 2. Hot bitches just for you. Big breaker, cut a code red. Figure 4, hot times ahead. Since 2014, it's on. It's a 10 count, but stand up strong. Hey kid, no DQ, strong style. Chop, this is how it do. Tom Clark's main event. Tom Clark's main event. Tom Clark's main event. Tom Clark's main event.
Hey, what's up, kids? Welcome back to the program. Tom Clark back here with you yet again on another Friday. I am sans the mask today. Are you upset by that? Am I too ghostly white? Man, let me tell you something, my friends. I have been struggling with the cold all week. Your boy has not been healthy. But you know what they say? Whatever doesn't kill you usually succeeds in a second attempt. So they haven't got me yet. They've been trying for years, but they hadn't got me yet. You know why? Because I'm 10 foot tall and bulletproof, baby. That's who I am. Made of steel, made of stone. That's me. I don't know where I'm going with that. Welcome back to the show, kids. My name's Tom. What's up? If you've never watched the show before, you are tuned in to Tom Clark's Main Event. We are a podcast network at Boink Studios, of which this show is a part of. You can find us on the YouTube at Boink Studios. Tom Clark's Main Event is the flagship show for Boink Studios. We've been going strong since 2014. Here on this little podcast, we talk about pro wrestling all day, all the time. And you can find a multitude of other pro wrestling content as well as different kinds of podcasts there on the Boink Studios YouTube. None of our content's behind a paywall, kids. I'm going to attempt to get through this show. As I said, I'm battling the crud. But we're going to do what we can do. We're going to make it do what it do, baby. All right? By the way, if today's show is a little abbreviated, if we only go 30 or 40 or 45, please don't take offense to that. I'll be getting some rest after this show is finished. Because like I said, man, it has been an interesting week. It's been a tough week for me. But you know what? Again, we're still kicking. My whole house has been sick, but it's okay. It's not okay, but it's going to be okay. Kids, do me a favor, if you will, before we go any further today. Smash the like button for me. You know I was going to ask you that, right? And also, while I got you here and you're in the mood to be pressing stuff, do me a favor, kids, and wait for it. Bam. See that link right there? If you're not following us on the Boink Studios YouTube, please and thank you. That'd be awesome of you to do so because we'd very much appreciate it. It keeps our name out there. The more followers we have, the channel is growing. We've got brand new podcasts there and more on that in a bit. And we've got a big event happening a week from today, kids, because today is episode 399. You know what that means, don't you? You know how to do math, right? Next Friday, a week from today, we're back with the big 400. I'm really looking forward to that, man. We're planning on filling the room up with as many co-hosts as we can possibly get here. If you'd like to support me and my efforts here on Boink Studios, feel free to hit that link right there, buymeacoffee.com/Tom Clark. That's me. Anything you want to throw in there. A couple of bucks, get me a cup. Couple more, get me 2 cups. Hey, man, I'd appreciate you. Let's say hello to the crowd here. Fernando, what's up? Guten Tag, Sandy in Germany. Sandy, I have an interesting story about GTA. So Grand Theft Auto 3, I think, is when I still had the PS2. I worked in a town about an hour from where I was living at one time, about an hour. And I was told by my boss, look, man, when it snows, do not try to get to work because I don't want you to get hurt and I'll figure it out. He's like, you're the only guy on my crew that doesn't live in this town. Everybody else is within 5 to 15 minutes of the location. So don't try coming in. I'm like, hey, man, I appreciate that. So it comes this snow, and it's like a half mix, and we don't know what it's going to do. So I called, and I'm like, hey, man. He's like, you didn't need to call, but I appreciate it. I don't want you to try it. Stay home. We'll cover it. I was like, all right, cool. Well, it turns out the weather cleared up within like the next hour or two. I went to Best Buy and bought GTA 3 for the PS2. I don't know why I shared that story. It just came to me. I played the heck out of that thing, man. I thoroughly enjoyed that game. I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. JP says, you are invincible. I don't know about all that. But again, they haven't got me yet. What's up, Belinda? Good to see you, my friend. Kids, and if you saw the promos, you know what we're doing here today. As I said, this is probably going to be a shorter podcast than what we typically do here on the main event on Fridays. Today is Open Floor Friday, part 7. The 7th time we've done this. That means everything's on the table. Short of some weird stuff I don't want to talk about. Because, we try to keep it. We try not to do politics and religion because nobody wants to hear my takes on either one, okay? But, whatever you got for me, if it's pop culture related, if it's pro wrestling, if it's movies, music, TV, if you got thoughts, if you got opinions, questions, comments, words of wisdom, and as we're going here today, kids, I'll throw some stuff in the up here today too that we can also cover. As I said, thank you for your patience, and I appreciate you hanging out with us here today. By the way, kids, share this on your socials if you will. If you're listening to us after the fact, be sure again to like and subscribe on the YouTube. Mean loads to me. Sandy says he got tickets to SmackDown in Berlin. You know what? Sandy, is as much negative things I have to say about that company, I cannot blame you for wanting to get tickets to go see them. I mean, they're not based in your country, so like whenever they come to town, I can completely understand it. And you know what? I don't blame you anyway. As I've said here many times before, folks, people can watch what they want, and I don't have a problem with that. I got a lot of bad things to say about that company. Not necessarily the people in it, but, stuff to say about that company. So, anyway, but I won't. Everybody, please welcome to the chat. Christopher Ray Patton, CRP, is the host of the Patton Report. New episodes every Thursday. Check out this past Thursday's brand new episode. Chris interviewed a indie film director named South Turk, who's there in Atlanta. He is in Atlanta, Chris, right? I was looking up his bio, and I think he's from Tennessee, but I guess he's relocated to Georgia, yeah? Go check out that episode, kids. It's a great listen. So I appreciate Chris being here. Chris is also the co-host of Bachman's Basement. Bachman's Basement, we'll get it. He and Chris Clausen take you down the dark and strange world of Stephen King every Saturday. There will not be a new episode coming out tomorrow for Bachman's Basement. Just wanted to announce that here while we're live today. But a brand new episode will come on, will premiere next Saturday. So tomorrow, you can spend tomorrow catching up, and we'll throw a promo out on the socials sometime this evening to kind of remind you that as well. Chris says, yeah, just won Best Atlanta. Yeah, I saw that. Best Atlanta Horror Short Director. Very cool, man. There's nothing like the acclaim of your peers. There's nothing like recognition, right? You don't need necessarily to have it all the time. And a lot of people don't need it to necessarily keep going. But just to kind of know that, you've impacted somebody, you've impacted your genre, you've done something in your field that you're quite proud of. That's pretty cool. Fernando says, have you been watching Welcome to Derry? Chris can answer that for you, Fernando. In case you guys don't know, Tom is not a horror guy. I enjoy some Stephen King stuff depending on what it is, but I actually prefer Stephen King's non-horror stuff more than I enjoy his horror stuff because the horror genre is just not for me. I got mad respect for it. I think it takes a creative person to write horror that is genuinely scary. And I'm not talking about jump scares. I think that's just cheap. Those are parlor tricks. Jump scares are parlor tricks. But I'm talking about deep psychological horror that really gets in your head and stays with you. Dude, to this day, I submit Blair Witch Project's one of the scariest things I've ever seen. I don't care. Come at me. By far one of the scariest things I've ever seen. You know why? Because it did not lean into gore and violence. It did not need to do blood splatter across the camera lens and do beheadings in front of you. It just needed to make you think that stuff was going on and you could hear things happening. To me, that's way more frightening than anything else I can possibly think of. Yeah, I got mad respect for the creators in horror, the horror genre, but it's not for me, What's up, Robbie? Good to see you, my friend. I got hair or something happening. That's stuck to my face or something. It's driving me nuts. Sandy says, can't wait. You know what, Sandy? I did get into Malcolm in the Middle, but I never got into Scrubs. I never got into that show. I've heard great things about Scrubs through the years, but I've never binged it, never even watched it. I'm just being honest. But I did enjoy Malcolm Middle was on TV. You know what's funny, Sandy? The two older brothers look just the same. That youngest kid, you can't pick him out of a lineup, am I right? Isn't that crazy? That's crazy, man. I think it's going to be good. Hopefully it'll be a good show. Nostalgia's king, everybody. We've heard that. We've said it here on Boink Studios podcast many, many times before. Nostalgia rules. It sells all the time. All the time. Basically, people of my age and a little bit younger, that's what we're all about. And younger, even. That's what it's all about. Jones Thirder. Hello, Jones Thirder. What's up? Welcome to the show. As we're waiting on some folks to keep filing in here, again, kids, if you will, please like, share, and subscribe, and share this on your socials. We'd appreciate it. Next week, as we said, folks, at number 400, we're going to preview AEW Blood and Guts. Actually, you know what? Blood and Guts is coming the 12th. My apologies. The 12th. You know what? We'll talk about it here today. There you go. Blood and Guts, Wednesday, November 12th. Well, here's what I'll tell you. TV wrestling, am I right? TV wrestling at its finest. Hey, man, it's going to be interesting to see what they can get away with on live TV, right? They've only got 3 matches lined up so far, but boy, are they good matches. We've got Full Gear is what we'll preview next week. How about that? We've got Jamie Hayter, Willow Nightingale, Harley Cameron, Timeless Tony Storm, Mina Shirakawa, and Chris Statlander versus the Triangle of Madness, Julia Hart, Sky Blue, and Tekla, with Megan Bain, Marina Shafir, and Mercedes Moné in a women's Blood and Guts match. I think the women are going to steal the show. I just can't put over how much I love women's wrestling. And it's just, I'm not going to gush. I'll try not to gush too much, but you guys know how I roll. I love women's wrestling. I just think it's the greatest thing ever. And, the fact that these women don't ask for anything, that they work for everything they're given, just like the men would. But we know through the years that women have had to work harder. They have to show up. They have to, prove themselves, quote unquote. This moment of silence brought to you by Tom Cross Main Event. Woo, apologies. Talking too much. I'll be editing that out of the podcast. You'll never know what happened. Look at my eyes, how I'm freaking messed up. That's what happens, baby. Choked up. Get a little sip here. It's just water. You know how I roll. Where was I? I told you I'm fighting the crud, baby. I'm down with the sickness, right? Where was I? So, yeah, as I said, man, I love me some women's wrestling. And it's unfortunate that we still live in a world where women have to work twice, maybe 3 times as hard. Absolutely ridiculous, but we know how things go. But I think, in my opinion, WWE has the best women's roster of all time. I'm sorry, it's how I feel. Also on the card, Hangman Adam Page versus Powerhouse Hobbs in Falls Count Anywhere match. The men's Blood and Guts. Look out. Darby Allin, Roddy Strong, the Conglomeration, Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, and Kyle O'Reilly versus the Death Riders kids, John Moxley, Claudio, Wheeler, Garcia, and Pac. That's your card as of now. I saw that. See, unfortunately, I didn't win the election this Tuesday. What town council? What were you running for? Man, I got to give it up to man. Gets involved in local politics in his town there. Kudos to you, my friend. I just don't know. I think I got too much dirt on me. I suspect I've been on the planet a little bit longer than you have. The longer you're on the planet, the more opportunity you have for dirt. I'm not saying I got a lot of dirt, but I might have a little bit of dirt that I would prefer for it to stay buried. Keep those skeletons in the closet, you know what I mean? But you keep doing you, man. Keep working, man. I know you're out there fighting the good fight. JP says, I watched Bound for Glory in the match between Leon Slater and Javon Evans. Would have been my nominee for match of the year until Dark State ruined the match and caused a DQ. We don't have to get into it too much. But factions, as Chris can attest to, if factions are not handled properly, they can just completely blow up your company. And maybe, NWO. But I mean, like, for companies overall, if you don't handle it, of course, you could always make the argument, if you don't handle your booking correctly, period, you can blow up your company. But factions, I think there's a lot of risk of things going wrong because you're trying to, juggle so many people and spin so many plates at the same time. What's up, Maria? Good to see you. Sandy says, thoughts on the Rich Holland release. Sandy, here's what I'll tell you. And I know you're a WWE guy. And I don't mean this at you. Okay? This is not to you, Sandy. But kids, if anyone is surprised by the Rich Holland stuff, I don't know how you are. We've been talking about this company forever. And if you grew up with it and it's your jam, that's fine. But, at some point, the rose-colored glasses kind of need to come off. We got Nick Khan out there talking about raising prices and staying competitive in the marketplace, and they feel good about it. Okay, brother, but you're leaving a lot of people at home that can't afford a ticket. But you know who they care about? They care more about the people in front of them than they care about people who couldn't come. And I guess you're looking at me saying, well, Tom, that's a businessman, right? I guess. But to me as a content creator, while I appreciate and always love when people show up, and you guys are awesome, I am often thinking, how many people didn't watch today? How many people didn't like my last video or my last graphic or the last new podcast released by Boink Studios? How many people don't follow the show? How many people like the page but never watch the show live? They'll like my posts. They may even comment from time to time, but they're not watching. Are they downloading? I don't know. Without taking a shovel and dig it in, I'm constantly thinking about people who aren't around. But I'm also not a billion-dollar company either. So I'm sorry, Sandy, I didn't answer your question directly. If anyone's surprised by the Ridge Holland stuff, I don't know how you are. I don't get it. I don't get it. They've been doing this stuff for years. It's never going to end. It's only getting worse. Especially when we know where they lean politically. I mean, I'm sorry. It's just, but you know what? They could do whatever they want. Robbie says my TV crushes were Alyssa Milano. Good choice. From Who's the Boss? And Candace Cameron. Whew, man, don't even get me started about Candace Cameron. That girl is, yeah. Let's not talk about Candace Cameron, okay? Who I had a poster of on my bedroom door. I know this isn't on the topic of wrestling. Who was your TV celebrity crush? It depends on when it happened. Can I tell you what poster I had as a kid? This is going to date me horribly. As a kid, I had that Farrah poster. You know the one I mean, don't you? Where she's got the big smile and she's in the red swimsuit. That's the one I had. You know what? Now I got to look it up. I had that poster. Well, to be fair, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was actually my cousin's poster and I ended up with it somehow. I think that's how it went. Someone's going to, you know what's great? Someone's going to tune into this and not know what's going on, and they're just going to see this. Look at that. If you don't listen, look, Farrah Fawcett back in the day was it, baby. I know there's not maybe a whole lot of folks in the chat my age. That's fine. But she was it when I was a kid, man. She was it when I was a kid. You made me think of it. You asked me. You asked me, so I answered. That's all. Also, I would say Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia from the first Star Wars. I mean, as a kid, that was my big crush. In the years since, Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson's it. Sorry. I love her. Even though she's married to a dweeb. CRP says, does that word still fly, by the way? Is that offending anyone? Hope it offends him. CRP says, Tom out here like Taker and selling a cell versus full ready to toss people off the sail with a broken foot. That's me, baby. Yep. Always forward always. He says, I'm very black. Did you say black? And call people out on their BS, or do you mean bold? JP says a Blood and Gut show looks like it'll be very interesting. Can't wait for the pay-per-view. Oh, I'm looking forward to that. We're going to review the heck out of that pay-per-view, man. Preview and review. CRP says I would start a biker game before running for politics. You would fit in a biker game, man. They call you General Patton. Vocal. There you go, E. I got you. Jones Thurder says Wrestling Monday Night Raw. Well, okay, my friend, sure. I don't watch it, but you know, more power to you. Marie says we should have just had a women's Blood and Guts. The men's Blood and Guts doesn't have much of a story between the individuals except for Moxley and Darby. You're not wrong, but you know they can't help throwing the Death Riders into the middle of everything. Let's see, Alma, good to see you, my friend. Is it today your birthday, or have you just had a birthday? Happy belated birthday. If today it is your birthday, happy birthday. If it's already passed, happy belated. CRP says not handling your booking can kill your company for sure. Absolutely. But having all of your big stars in various groups you can't book, that will kill it faster. Well done. Yeah. JP says WWE is trying to create a new Shield with Dark State. You know why it's not working? Because there's only ever going to be one. A lot of great bluesmen have existed through the years. There's only ever going to be one Muddy. Muddy Waters invented electricity, baby. And I love me some blues. A lot of great bluesmen came after Muddy Waters. I'm serious. But there's only ever going to be one Muddy. Sorry. Jordan's the greatest of all time. You can have your favorites. You can try to make arguments. Michael Jordan's the greatest of all time. Sorry. There's only ever going to be one. And Michael would probably tell you that Wilt is the greatest of all time because that's how Michael is. But, there's only ever going to be one. What's the thing, man? You only get one chance to make a first impression. There's only ever going to be one Shield. There's only ever going to be one Bullet Club. And, Bullet Club at one time was a ripoff, or what people consider to be a ripoff NWO. Not anymore, man. I would think Bullet Club has carved out their own niche in the business, honestly. Why do you think TKO? Oh, you think TKO the company? Oh, yeah. 100%. Well, TKO cares about the dollar. And that's really all they care about. TKO is not concerned about people. And see, this is what happens, kids, when you get involved with these massive, mega, billion-dollar, trillion-dollar companies. You just don't matter. You don't matter. They don't care about you. Folks, WWE has never really cared about you. They haven't needed to care about you, okay, since Stone Cold. That's the truth. They haven't needed to care about you since Stone Cold. Before Stone Cold and the couple of years after, they really needed you. They don't need you now. They don't need none of you. You could all split. It wouldn't matter. Other people will take your place. I'm just calling it like I see it. I like watching programs that make me feel as though if I don't watch, I'm going to miss something. And that they're not talking down to me. And WWE on their worst day, is thumbing its nose at you. They've done it for years. Like I said, if it's your jam and you enjoy that kind of thing, if you love them, mazel tov to you. Enjoy it. Congratulations. If that's your thing, it's cool. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just saying, if that's your thing, that's fine. JP, I've been hearing this as well. The AEW is getting just as expensive to attend. That's why Tom's not going. Who would you put on your Mount Rushmore of viewers? Cough, cough. You need some water there, E? I can't do that. I won't do that. I can't do that, kids. I appreciate everybody that watches my show all the time. CRP says, Val 90210, Tiffany Amber Thiessen, the GOAT. She was quite amazing. Catherine Bach, good pull. Linda Carter, even better. Linda Carter is fantastic on the socials. If you follow her on X, or on Twitter, sorry, she is great. She is freaking great. She don't take crap. She got the one-on-one bracelets on, dodging bullets and stuff. Got that lasso, beating the crap out of people. She's awesome. Fernando says, why is Tony so obsessed with creating new titles? That national championship. You know what's great? That thing came from out of nowhere. Hoy. I think I may have been the one about a month or so back that said that the company could use another championship. I know how it sounds. I totally get it after all the titles they have. Because now for the men's division, actually maybe it was the women I was thinking, Fernando. Maybe that's what I meant. That's why I thought the women's tag belts were a good idea. But yeah, for the men's division only, don't even count Ring of Honor. You got the AEW World Championship, right? You've got the TNT Championship. You've got the I want to call it Cruiserweight. That's the Continental. It's the Undisputed Continental, whatever they're calling. The thing that Okada's carrying around. He's carrying around 4 belts or whatever. It's so ridiculous. Just think they would have had 4 if not for that. Now you're going to have that national championship. It does seem like a bit of overkill. What is better, pumpkin pie or eggnog, and why? Have you had pumpkin eggnog? And I'm not making that up. It is fantastic. Yes, my tree is up. You hear me, Grinches? All you Grinches out there in Grinchland, up on Mount Crumpet. We who's down at Whovilles are celebrating, yo. My tree's up downstairs. Put the picture up last Saturday. Sick as a dog I was. Still am. Sick as a dog with my Santa hat. Couldn't have stand up. Put that tree up. Then I gathered hands with all the rest of the Who's down in Whoville. Stood around it and sang. I'm saying, man. Some might say we have talked about Muddy on a podcast, little known British band recently. Yes. CRP may be talking about when we reviewed Exile on Main Street on Tom Clark 6 and podcast. Also available on Boink Studios on the YouTube. By the way, I love pumpkin pie. King James, nah, look. Look. All due respect to LeBron. When you spend your days and nights wanting to be called the greatest of all time, you're just not. You don't need that. The greatest of all time don't need to want anything. They just are. Sorry. He will never look. You know what's great? You know how I know I'm right? You know how I know I'm right? Everybody gather around. Gather around, listen. You know how I know I'm right? Because we don't all just accept it. That's how. I know what you're thinking. Tom, but everybody agrees about everything. Before LeBron, when everyone said Jordan was probably the greatest of all time, you had a few here and there, say Kobe and say maybe, Reggie, which, whatever, freaking Reggie. And maybe you had, something old like Magic and Bird. Yeah, I totally get it, right? But since LeBron, I'm sorry. That's just, yeah, no. Sorry. Dark stays more like retribution. I agree with that. CRP's, CRP, you didn't know about the national championship? Oh, goodness. Yeah, it's another belt, man. He says, Tom, if you had the opportunity to meet any of your viewers, who would you pick first? Man, he is coughing and hinting and shrugging and tapping his forehead. Doesn't know what's going on. I don't know. I'd like to meet any of you guys, man. I've met Ray. By the way, don't miss Ray Sports and Slams coming this Monday live, 6 p.m. on Boink Studios YouTube. Another Boink Studios original podcast, everybody. Do I like Madonna? I have never been a fan. It's just not for me. I respect the hustle. I respect the longevity of her career. I respect it as a woman. She had to do a lot of stuff she probably didn't want to do. And I don't mean that in a weird way, but I respect the hustle, but I'm not a fan. Prince or MJ, it's always going to be Prince for me. Mad respect for MJ. He did a heck of a lot in his career. He'll never be forgotten. But Prince for me all day, every day. Rob says, I've wrapped my brain trying to think about this scenario of who put in this question, but here it goes. If they were to make a movie about the life of Dusty Rhodes, which current actor do you think? I don't know if I know of an actor, Rob. And honestly, I'd go with somebody that we don't know because he couldn't be in his 30s. Well, I guess he could, but he sure couldn't be in his 40s, right? You'd have to get the right mix of someone that can be younger and that can be a little bit older. That's a great question. I think one day we'll see Dusty's story told. I think that'd make for an amazing film. I'm really looking forward to that, actually. JP says our local KOSI 101.1 is starting 24/7 Christmas music next Friday. 'Tis the season, baby. I'm all for it. I don't know why I keep showing you my water bottle. I'm about to get Deer Park to sponsor us here, man. Wouldn't that be fun? CRP says, as far as all sports go, record and stats wise go, isn't the GOAT just Gretzky? Ha ha ha. Well done. I get you. JP says, if you have to say you're the greatest of all time, you probably aren't. You know what it is? It's like those guys who go around talking about how tough they are and how they don't take crap. There's people who always say, I don't take crap from nobody. Number one, you do. Okay. Number two, the louder you are, the more you draw attention to yourself, the more no one believes you. I don't take crap from nobody. When people say the words, I speak my mind, stop. You lost me. I don't need that. Third degree black belt doesn't tell anybody. He's a third degree black belt. Want to know why? He doesn't have to. If you really didn't care what anybody thought, by the way, you care. Everyone cares. The level to which you care may not matter. Everyone cares. It may be different, I should say. Everyone cares. Don't be weird. Come on, guys. Let's be honest. Be human. CRP says for Dusty, Tom Hardy getting really chubby. I would watch that. Interesting. He says thoughts on the passing of Cowboys player 24. Terrible, terrible, man. Man, all the best condolences, deep condolences to his family and friends. Rest easy. I'm not a Cowboys guy. It's not my team. But, you don't want to see anybody. I mean, that's prime of life. Not even barely prime of life. That's at 24, in my opinion, you're still a kid, man. You are to me. Hate to hear it. Hate to hear it, man. Deepest condolences go out for sure. What did I do for Halloween? What did I do for Halloween? Well, I was here with y'all. Happy Halloween. Did you guys watch the show last week? Me and Chris were here, masked up. Not COVID mask, but masked up. I had the lucha mask. It's over here. I vowed to never wear it again. Because for an hour and change, I couldn't breathe, man. Oh, it was the worst. See, all y'all need to feel bad for me and throw some money into the buymeacoffee.com. Look, man, I ain't too proud to beg. Sweet darling, please don't leave me. Girl, don't you go. I'm not too proud to plead. Baby, baby. Anyway, I'm not above it. It's not beneath me. I'm not above it, and it is not beneath me. Okay? What's going on in the world, kids? What else is going on in the pro wrestling world? Here's something that came up today. It was pretty cool. A high school wrestling tournament renamed to honor Bray Wyatt. It's in Florida. The Hernando Wrestling Club announced that its December 5th through 6th tournament will now be known as the Wyndham Rotunda Memorial Invitational. Along with that, an annual scholarship is being established in Wyatt's name. Wyatt attended Hernando High School and starred on the wrestling and football teams. The wrestling club is run by David Pritz, who was a teammate of Wyatt's at Brooksville, Florida school. That's going to make me cry. I'm not going to read anymore. I don't want to cry today. What a great thing, man. Kudos to them. Kudos to them, man. Yeah, so look, let's circle back to the Rich Holland stuff just a bit. So it was reported this week that WWE has terminated Holland's contract early due to a bunch of stuff he said on social media, considering them a breach. Said it was a breach contract. So here's what happened. A Liz Frank injury suffered in September TNA match. Holland was told in October this deal would not be renewed. The outlet didn't note when the effective date of the early termination was, but his contract was initially reported to be up on November 14th. If it was done Wednesday, he would miss 9 days worth of pay. He said on X, was it X? He felt hung out to dry. He said, quote, "I feel like I've just been hung out to dry after getting injured, working for another company on behalf of WWE. Add to that, my contract not being renewed, knowing that I wouldn't be able to wrestle for 7 months. This is brutal. Yes, they were taking care of the surgery and physical therapy, but let's be honest, that's the bare minimum of what we sacrifice for this company. Absolutely. Plus possibility of having to get my neck fused too. Talk about getting totally effed," end quote. Yeah, we don't have to talk anymore about it. It just jumped up in front of me. Look, man, I can't be a part of that. I have a hard time with that. If it was one he said, she said thing, I can go past that. If it's multiple and not rumored but proven true, yeah, I can't. I'm done. I'm done at that point. There's other things I can watch. Do you know what I mean? But again, I can only speak for me, kids. Since we're talking about AEW, guys, you know that AEW Full Gear is coming. As we said before, we will be previewing the show here. And we will also be reviewing the show the week after. November 22nd, which is right around the corner from Thanksgiving. Right now, we got 7 matches on the card, everybody. That Big Boom AJ guy is back with his kid. Hey, man, whatever. And QT Marshall versus, yeah, he done turned face. You believe that crap? Versus RPG Vice in a tag team match. That's the first match on the card. Apologies. Had to call. I still got Fair up on one of my screens, man. That ain't bad to look at. Chris Statlander versus Mercedes Moné, AEW Women's World Championship. Hangman and Page, AEW World Championship. Brodito and FTR versus for AW World Tag Team Championship. I think FTR is winning. My opinion. Woo! Told you I was sick. Oh my goodness. Let's see what else. Kenny Omega and Jurassic Express versus Young Bucks, Josh Alexander in a trios match. Woo! The cold, she kills me. Kids, do me a favor, if you will. Let me see if I can bring it up here. It's going to take me just a second. I'm going to let you watch something. So let me catch my breath. Speaking of breath. People listening to the audio version are not going to know what I'm talking about, but I've had to pause a few different times here to get my breath. The trios match we just talked about, by the way, the winners will receive a $1 million cash prize. Okay. Lashley versus Shelton versus Ricochet for the national championship. Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe for the AWTNT title. If Briscoe loses, he's joining the family. Kids, before we go any farther, watch this.
Come on, won't you say it loud? Ayo, we gon' turn this out. Tom Clark's main event.
It's good, right? Did you like that? I like that. There'll be a different ad on the audio version. Episode number 400 of Tom Clark's Main Event is coming next week, kids. 1 week from today. We hope that you join us. I think it's going to be great. And I'm not just saying that because I'm there. Maybe I am. I'm just kidding. It's going to be great. Ray is late. Ray, in conjunction with what we just talked about, there is no confirmation that Mark Briscoe is going heel. But here's what I'll say. Yeah, I'm not up for Mark Briscoe turning heel. It's highly unnecessary. Mark doesn't need to turn heel. As Chris just said, he's the only true baby face. I would say, I don't know if he's the only true, but he's up there. At any given time, he's your number one face or number two. That's, it's just the truth. Having said that, there is no need to turn him heel. Zero need to turn him heel. But kids, if you don't know Mark Briscoe is a heel, you're missing out. Because, brother, Mark Briscoe is a great heel. Okay? Here's what I'll tell you. Mark Briscoe on TV every week, but never getting the babyface push that I think he should get based on what an incredible babyface he is. I mean, at least he's on TV, but that's getting old. Mark Briscoe on TV every week, along with some of the best wrestlers in the business today, in the same roster, in the same faction, getting a chance to not only get on TV, but get in main event matches and probably get a championship. Sign me up. Now, do I want to see it happen? I don't want to see it happen. I'm not even predicting it's going to happen. But sign me up. Hey, man, I'm just saying. Maria says Rich Holland should have known better about airing his dirty laundry on Twitter about WWE. He just made matters worse for himself. But Maria, that's giving them more ammunition. I mean, you know what I mean. It did get more ammunition. But I'm saying that's giving them the benefit of the doubt. That's nonsense, in my opinion. Unless he signed an NDA that said stay off social media, it's his social media. He has every right to say whatever he wants to. That, if nothing else, is censorship. Now, if his contract said you stay off socials and keep your mouth shut, and he went against that, he signed the doc. right? I mean, if I'm in his shoes, I got an attorney already. I'm fighting this. You're going to pay me something. You're going to pay me a year's worth of pay. I'm going to get something, at least a month. I'm going to get something out of this. I mean, and look, Maria, something else I'll tell you. I've always told you guys this. Always side with the talent. Never side with the company. Never. Company don't care about us. Okay? They just don't. We need to always side with the talent. Unless the talent's done something heinous, broken some kind of, hurt someone or, and because there are exceptions. I get it. 9 times out of 10, I'm siding with the talent every time. CRP said turning Briscoe heel to go against another heel is worse than just having him lose as a babyface. I can't say you're wrong. I can't say you're wrong. But also, again, do I want to keep going down this road of they've got this great baby face who's highly capable and they'll never pull the trigger? Well, look, if they're never going to pull the trigger, turn him heel for a while. Do it for 6 months. Do it for 2 months. Turn him back face again. Is it even going to hurt him? You know what I mean? Again, I'm not advocating for it. Honestly. But they're not doing anything else with him. Let's see. Chris also says, hurt someone like... And look, he did hurt Big E, but here's what I'll tell you. Let him go when it happened. Let him go. Right? And I don't know if that's the point you're making or not, but just hear me out. Horrible injury. That was Ridge's fault. Pretty sure he owned up to it. But it's not enough. If that came into play later, like now, should just let him go when it happened. Because I'd want to know if it's me. I'd be like, look, if you guys think that I'm careless or whatever, let's call it a day right now. I'd rather just move on. Do you know what I mean? But if they keep him, how long has it been since that happened? Not taking up for anybody, man. Nobody. But yeah, if that had anything to do with this, yeah, man. Nah. No, that's what I'm talking about, Chris. Did I miss another comment? My apologies if I did. The answer is just pull the trigger. Yeah. Yeah. I got you. Fernando says, do you think it's a good idea for the MCU to be dropping a trailer for Doomsday next month when we still have... Well, the trailer you're going to see is going to be nothing. You might get a close-up of Doom's boots or his back. Yeah, you're not going to get anything. This will be a teaser, if it's anything. It'll be a teaser. It's going to be just enough to whet your appetite. And if they do any more, shame on them. I don't want to see anything. I can't speak for y'all, but I don't want to see anything. I want to see what happens with the movie when it comes out. Kids, we're 46 minutes in. I'm about to fall out. We're getting ready to wrap this up and call it a day. I'm giving us 2 more minutes, and I'm getting out of here, and I'm going to get some rest. Thanks to everybody today for being patient. Again, if you heard the audio version, you don't know what happened. But I have been ill for over a week now, so whole family's got it. I'm going to go downstairs and find a little something for dinner, I think, and kick my feet up and try to relax and take some more NyQuil. I'm going to tell you something. I'm not a drinking man. Never had alcohol in my life. So you know what NyQuil does to me? Out. I'm out. I'm telling you. I took NyQuil 2 nights ago. I took it, and 30 minutes later, I don't remember anything after that. I don't remember anything. I don't remember anything after that. I woke up the next morning going, what happened? NyQuil. Grown man. Out. Louis Blass got a great bit about NyQuil, about how blue NyQuil is the only thing that tastes blue, and red NyQuil is the only thing that tastes red. And be sure you take NyQuil sitting in bed, because wherever you're going to take it, that's where you're going to be for the next 12 hours. It's true. Ray Dean says, Rex in Effect or Fuji's? Rex in Effect for me. Lil Jon or Nas? Lil Jon's just too fun. I got to say Lil Jon. If Adam Cole invited you to the grand opening of the Adam Cole winter hat store, we should get a winter hat in any color within the logo. I don't need my hat to have a logo, though, Ray. I don't need that. I like those Scully caps, those Boston Scally. Is it Scally caps? I like those things. I'm a bass player at heart, and I always feel like a bass player needs a hat. But I like that I have hair still, and I don't want to hex that. So maybe I'll stay away from hats. I like toboggans when it's cold, though. You said you could give me one to a friend. Would you please call me? Yes. Later, want to get dinner, which included steak, fries, Poland spring water. That's different. Apple pie. Absolutely. Greatest Laker, Kobe or Magic? Ray's not going to like this, but I'll say Magic. I'll say Magic. That Showtime era of the Lakers hard to beat, man. And you know, Kobe's a heck of a player, legend. But buddy, I remember when him and Shaq were having it out, okay? And I remember when he just kept passing the ball in that one game because he got his feelings hurt. He got his feelings hurt. He pouted like a kid, and he passed the ball and wouldn't take shots, and they lost. I forget what game it was. But buddy, he wasn't having it. And it was all this, whose team is it? And I'm like, you can't penalize a guy for being too young. But also, you know, you if you have greatness in you, then that greatness blossoms and grows. In my opinion, Ray's going to hate me for this. I kind of feel like a lot of Kobe's greatness was just because he was just so undeniably talented. But in my mind, does that mean he's greatest of all time? No, not at all. And I can't, you know, again, you don't hold things against people because people are like, listen, Iverson said some things that weren't awesome. But did we ever see Iverson take the night off? Did he ever pout? Did he ever feud with a fellow player and say, I'm not going to play tonight? It's a thing. It's a thing, man. So Magic, in a time where that team was in a transition period, they had some older players, and they, you know, no one kind of knew what that team was going to happen. And then Magic came along, and it was showtime. I got a lot of respect for Magic Johnson, buddy. A lot of respect. I mean, Ray, you can have your favorites, my friend. Absolutely have your favorites. Lakers A's were way better than any future Lakers teams ever. Well, I don't know if I'd go that far because the competition is different. The rules are different, right? That might be a little bit, those metrics might be a little bit harder to gauge. But I will say there's no era like Showtime era. I will say that. No era like Showtime era. CRP says Kobe isn't even the greatest in his time frame. Kobe was in a competitive era, wasn't he? Competitive era. Yeah. Hey, man, people are passionate about sports, brother. You think they're passionate about pro wrestling, and they are. A lot of us are. A lot of people are passionate about sports, man. That's for sure. Well, kids, I hate to bounce, but I'm going to bounce. I'm going to get out of here, and I'm going to go. Look, yeah. I'm not going to get back in it with you. I refuse to. You can bait the hook. That don't mean I'm taking it. I ain't taking it. Kids, before we go, a very quick reminder. Boink Studios on the YouTube, if you will, folks. And before we get out of here, why don't we take a little second, and it's not a video, everybody. I'll just show you this. Here's Boink Studios on YouTube. Okay? Check that out. At the very top, you got a little welcome video. Yours truly's on there. Okay? At the very top, you've got our video podcasts. That's all of our video podcasts right there. All right? We've got, we change these out every so often. This is kind of gives you a taste of what you can expect here on the channel. You have our shorts. Look at the assorted variety of shorts you have here. You have a Stephen King book. You have Los Angeles Lakers. You have Sin City, right? You have The Bear. You have video games, right? The Rolling Stones. You name it, we cover it here on Boink Studios YouTube, man. New this week on Boink Studios, you can see our newest episodes. And let's see. Chris, I did have you. You know what? Let's do this in real time. I like to update. How about this? There you go, Chris. The Patton Report is first in line, new on Boink Studios this week. Got to go check that out, kids. And as we said before, there is no new episode of Bachman's Basement tomorrow, just as a reminder. Today's episode will be going right here. The video of Tom Clark's main event. There you see Bear Mode, a podcast review of The Bear. Pretty self-explanatory, yeah. Season 2 for that is coming out in a few weeks. Please stay tuned for that. Tom Clark Reviews is just me reviewing the latest trailers. I quite enjoy doing that show. I haven't done it a bit. And as you can see, kids, we've reviewed every episode of Ted Lasso to this point. We will be coming back for Season 4 when it premieres, so stay tuned for that. All right, kids, that's all. I gotta go. My voice is shattered. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with us. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, follow on Boink Studios YouTube and on boinkstudios.com. Wherever you get your podcasts, you'll find us. Don't miss Ray's Sports and Slams coming up this Monday. A brand new episode of Tom Clark Season Podcast coming Tuesday. The Patton Report returns Thursday. Tom Clark's main event, episode number 400, back with you a week from today. And a week from tomorrow, a brand new episode of Bachman's Basement. That's all I got for you, kids. Thanks, as always, for watching. Do me a favor. Have a great weekend. Drink your NyQuil. Stay healthy. Don't do it for fun. All right? No social NyQuil drinking out there. But stay healthy if you can. I'm going to try to do the same thing. I appreciate you very much. Thanks for hanging out. And we'll see you next time, kids.